Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm very excited to have an amazing guest with me this evening, or afternoon. Unathi Kwaza, welcome to Rebellious Ruth.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. It's the first time that I mean that's the beauty of social media, isn't it? That we keep finding new people in our lives, and we continue to have conversations. So it's good to be on your show.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So I wanted you on because I wanted to discuss obviously who you are behind the professional Unathi Kwaza, sort of what inspired you to do what you do. You know, who were you sort of at school? Just to tell us a little bit about yourself as a woman, you know, how it all started for you.
Yeah, I was born in 1978, January 4th, so I'm a Capricorn.
Yes, I'm January the 9th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we soul sisters.
Yes, so I was born in Worcester. It's part of the Western Cape, but I did all my schooling like from grade 1 to 12 in the Eastern Cape, a place called Tsala, where Mantashe comes from. And yeah, and then I came back to the Western Cape to do my tertiary, and I studied food technology. And I worked for about 8-9 years in the food industry as a food laboratory technologist. But then I realized that it was just not for me. And I left in 2009 to start a business full time. And I started a business in direct sales and marketing, selling Justine products, Avon, and now later I added Home Choice to my portfolio. So that's what puts food on my table, I suppose. And then outside of that, there's other interests in politics, in economics, and so through business networking, I joined. I became part of an organization, NGO, that was working with small business owners. It was called INENG, Independent Entrepreneurship Group. And from there, I joined the board of Free Market Foundation for 2 years. And we just last month we had a new board of which I'm not part, but I'm still very much obviously part of free markets and individual liberty and all that is classic liberal. If you want to like know what exactly drives me and what do I believe in, what is my philosophy in life. And for just a couple of months, I was also a part of the council at Institute of Race Relations. But unfortunately, that didn't last for long through disagreements, I suppose. And it's difficult for me to compromise who I am as a woman. As women, we are taught to be nice people, to be kind, to be
to always say
considerate. Yes.
Always say yes, to always say yes.
And I just refuse to live by those expectations, because those are people's expectations. People who don't even know me. So how will people know you if you are always saying yes? How will people know what makes you tick, what upsets you, what don't you like, what do you like? So I just choose to be myself all to my I don't compromise who I am. And it served me well for the last 42 years. I'm going on 43 next year. And the 40s have been great.
Oh man, I know. I feel the same way. I sort of feel like I remember on my 30th birthday, I thought, no, I must become my authentic self. I must stop lying to myself. And I think it's so important. And in the last 5 years, I've had the most growth as a woman.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens when we decide to stop living for other people, to start living for ourselves, to be our authentic selves as women, especially. And it's very important because how are you going to serve your family in the right way? How are you going to be the right parent to your children if they don't know who their mother is, who their parent is? So it's very important because kids grow up to look up to you as a parent, and it doesn't matter what you tell them; they just look at what you do, and that's where I feel we are actually failing them as parents. If for those people who are parents, because if your kids don't know how to be loved from their own families, if your kids don't know how to stand up for themselves, then we have failed them, because at the end of the day, you're not always going to be there when they are at school and someone is bullying them, for instance. How do they stand up and speak out? Obviously, I'm not saying they should beat bullies up unless they are trained, unless they have karate training and all that. But if they can't do anything for themselves, then they have to speak out, whether it's to you as a parent or to the principal or their class teacher or any adult that they trust. So they learn all these things from home, and that's where we are supposed to be role models for these parents. They shouldn't look up to celebrities, because what we see on television is not the real life of these celebrities. So if kids don't find that at home, then they will look for it in the wrong places.
Correct. And all the physical, I think the youth of today are so misguided by obviously social media, in a way, like all the advertising and the flash and the instant gratification.
Yes.
And what you say is highly, highly valid, very valid.
Absolutely. Because I mean, you can have all the things you want as a young person, but you still need to learn what's valuable in life, what are your principles as a person, and you can only develop those through learning. I mean, through experience. And unfortunately, the world of social media tends to not be real, and people will just put out. That's why I try to be authentic in what I put out there. And I think because I do that, there's a lot of people who resonate with me, irrespective of the color of their skin, because that's another issue in South Africa. We tend to think that race, the color of one's skin, is says a lot about a person, which is not true. What says a lot about the person is their upbringing. Where do they come from? Their experiences in life. What have they learned along the way, along their life's journey? And so we tend to think that to put race to be the all and everything in a person's life, and we judge people based on that, which is unfortunate. That's why when I was that's why it's important for me to always reach out to people. When I was in Johannesburg last month, I had the pleasure and honor of meeting one of our great artists, Steve of Meyer, who is someone who's greatly misunderstood. And I feel it's unfair I mean, Kanthan Pillay you normally says that, how can you say you dislike a person you've never met, you've never had a conversation with? And so I just allow myself to learn more about people by reaching out to them and actually meeting them, because yes, we have conversations on Twitter, but sometimes they're so fake, and you never know what exactly people believe. So it's important to actually take the next step now to get to know people in real life. What are they like? What do they like? What don't they like? And just sit and have a cup of coffee or tea. And that is something that I like doing.
Okay, awesome. What's your favorite coffee? What's the favorite coffee you like?
Okay, I'm not those real strong espresso people, coffee people. So I just have it's either Nescafe Gold, but mainly
Uh-huh.
Jacobs,
Okay.
but not decaf person. And then for tea, and then for tea, just Joko or Five Roses will do. And sometimes then, if I just need to be calm, then I'll have chamomile tea or rooibos tea.
Okay, lovely, lovely.
Yeah,
I see the joking atheist is asking you a question. Can I read it to you?
sure.
He says, Unathi, how does one balance ensuring you don't fail your parents whilst ensuring your own children succeed? The past is not always a good gauge to ensure the future success.
Absolutely. Um, you know, the past is something that we should learn from. Um, the present, obviously, is something that you just need to work at to ensure. I mean, there's a quote by Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell is one of the most people that I admire in the whole world. He's an
Okay.
economist. He's an economist from the US. And one of his quotes is that he says that the past happened. What we need to do as people is to ensure that what we do today is it will make our future better for us ourselves and for our kids. So you're saying that the past is not always something that we can gauge future success of kids. At the same time, I mean, it's important to learn from your past, because if you don't learn, I mean, we see that all the time in government, especially. I speak a lot about government because whether we like politics or we don't, whether we participate in politics or we don't, what we need to know is that whatever they do in parliament, it affects us every day. I mean, I've
Mm,
worked with small business owners, and I've seen how government policies unfortunately infringe on how they do their work. I mean, you have to spend all this time trying to fulfill what government wants from you as a small business owner, and it takes away from the work that you should do. So
mm,
it's important to learn from the past and take those lessons. I mean, some people will feel that, oh, my childhood was so terrible and all that, but yeah, we had our struggles in life, irrespective of where we come from.
mm,
It's part of life, the ups and the downs. And
mm.
what do we learn from the downs? What can we learn from the ups? That is what will ensure that, I mean, have conversations with your children. I feel
Mhm.
that not a lot of parents do that. Speak to your children,
Correct. Correct.
and obviously your conversation will be based, the language that you use in those conversations will depend on the age of the child. But kids
Mm,
know a lot of things, more than parents think. If you're having financial problems like now during the lockdown, sit down with your kids, because sometimes kids expect things to continue the same way. But if you don't have these conversations, like we're just having a tough time right now, we need to downgrade, or we'll have to buy a smaller house, or
mm,
we just have to move schools, like because
mhm,
they can't afford private schools, that
mm.
kind of thing. So these things are preparing this child for a brighter future, because at the end of the day, what you are doing while they are still young, you're preparing them for adulthood. How will they stand on their own? So
Correct.
you do that from childhood. You don't wait until they're 16, because
No.
I feel that's already late. There's a lot of other influences that you don't want your children
Mm,
to get. You need
yes.
to have a stronger influence at home. So use your past to ensure that the lessons that you've taken from the past are what carries you through, to ensure that you become a better parent every day. I mean, when I wake up in the morning, I make sure I don't have kids by choice, and but I do like talking about parents. I mean, right now, the big thing that I've seen this week on social media is the sexualization of children, unfortunately, by mainstream media. I mean, we see these, I mean, all this makeup, children gyrating on stages, I think it actually started a few years ago when the reality show started. And parents, because some parents didn't have the fame that they can get through their children, they're now using their children, unfortunately, in wrong ways. And the internet is a very dangerous place, especially for children. So if you as a parent are not protecting your child, in ensuring that whatever they're doing on their smartphones, it doesn't put them at risk, because South Africa, unfortunately, is a very dangerous place. Who is chatting to your child on WhatsApp groups and all that? Because there's a lot of bullying that happens as well. Because some kids are not as some kids will be popular, others not. Some are into themselves. So you need to protect your child from all that as a parent. So I know some people will say no, it's just you need to give them privacy and all that, but no, you don't actually. You need to know more about your kids. What are they doing? Because they're still young.
Yes.
They need to be protected. So you can't say let me give them their privacy, not in your house.
Correct. Well, I think a large extent you need to have good conversations with them and know that the home, you are the place of safety.
Yes, absolutely.
I know my son came home I mean, I've got a 14-year-old, okay, he's nearly 15. He came home and he said, so and so doesn't want to play with me. I said, my darling, there are 5 billion people in the world. I wish my mother had told me this, because my mother was a people pleaser, and I always felt I had to please people. So I think I said to him, there are 5 billion people in the world. You're not going to like everyone, and not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay.
That's I think that's the most important lesson, because one of the things that happened on social media is that people are afraid to anger other people, because people feel that they need to agree with the masses, and I will only agree when I feel something feels right for me. So I will say something on Twitter, for instance, irrespective of what reaction I get from people, as long as I can stand for what I've said. So for me, I get attacked all the time because of what I say. But what I say, I don't think what I say is special in any way. It's just that some people don't have the guts to say it. So can I stand up for what I believe? For me. So whether I'm being liked or not, it's really not important to me. What matters is did I have was I brave enough to say what I wanted to say? Because sometimes a lot of people can, the majority can be in the wrong, and it just takes one person to stand up and say, no, actually you're wrong. This is how things are. It's not the way that you see them. So those things are important to me, and every day I try to carry myself in that manner. And as I said earlier, I don't compromise who I am, because I think I was brought up properly.
Well, and, you seem to turn out okay to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I can stand up anytime. And yesterday I received a DM from someone that I respect. He's one of the media personnel in Gauteng, and he was asking me to be a part of his show. He said that he wanted me to be a regular. And he doesn't really know me. I think he only sees me, and I've never interacted with him. So I was kind of surprised in a pleasant way. So if you can carry yourself in an authentic way, the right people will come to you, and you won't have to compromise yourself to please people. So just you don't have to please people. Just be who you are, and the right people will gravitate towards you, and you won't have to have to lower your standards for people. No,
or work hard, or work
yes.
like make it too much of an effort.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everything will come. Just continue working, doing what you're doing. If you feel it's the right direction you want to take, and if it's not, change directions. I mean, at 30, I knew that I was not happy in the food industry with the
Mm.
choice I had made. So I managed to change direction because I was not happy, and I knew that if I continued, I would. I mean, there was a salary and it was guaranteed. So I
Sure.
took the route of not knowing, am I gonna get paid? Oh,
Sure.
if you've ever started a business, you know that for the first few years you're not gonna get paid because everything you get you put back into your business. Especially if you're not a tenderpreneur where millions are there for you, whether you
Correct.
do the job or not. But the regular people who start jobs know that you don't get paid in the first few years of starting a business. And sometimes it doesn't grow to be like as big, I suppose, as Avon or as Checkers or all those people. But what's important is it growing enough to sustain you and your family? And
Mm.
are you able to introduce the business to other people so that
Mm.
because I mean I'm currently running since the start of the lockdown started running this food voucher fundraising thing,
Brilliant.
and yeah, and I'm using Back a Buddy to raise funds. And some people, I've had conversations with some people, and I try to, because I can give you a food voucher today, whether it's 500 rands or 600 or 800,000 rands, but it's not, it's just for a short while. What I'm interested in, are you going to be able to live after that on your own?
Mm.
So I try to introduce the businesses that I do to people, but unfortunately, I think it's because of the education in this country, we are not taught to be job creators. You're not taught to graduate and then start a business to create jobs. You're taught to look for a job. And it's unfortunate because a country such as ours, with the economy the way that it is, it means that most of us will have to take the leap of faith and just jump
Mm.
and start something. It doesn't
Correct.
matter. It doesn't matter what you are selling. It doesn't matter what you are creating. Just do something. If you need to, let's say you want to supplement your income, just you'll be surprised. Sometimes people surprise you and support you, and you find yourself even going full time now, and leaving your comfort zone, which is your employment. And
Mm.
I
Mm.
mean, take I mean I'm looking at the time now. It's like
Yes,
five
because
to
you've
six.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
you've got, but I think we
take.
should do this again because
Yes,
I've
we
got so
should.
much I want to ask you, and
Yeah,
we like
let's say,
we
yeah, let's say this was an introduction, and then we'll
okay.
continue doing this. And you're the only woman who has a show, and that I've participated in. I'm mostly invited by guys because
Uh-huh.
I like men in that men are always confident in themselves most times, and they I mean they always think they know everything, and I wish that as women we had that. I wish as women we had that, even if it's we're fooling ourselves, but it keeps them trying to find new things, trying to create new things. Look at
We are
YouTube.
the
Yeah,
superior species, I'll have you know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
really believe that. I really
Yeah,
do.
but unfortunately, because of our upbringing, again, we continue to doubt ourselves. We don't want to start businesses. We don't want to, and yet we're so good. Women are very good in business actually because we have that soft spot of being kinder to people and
Mm.
just relating to people more. So that is
Mm.
good that those are good skills to have in business. The soft skills. You don't have to always to have to be like you're so angry, you want to push, but sometimes you just have to do your business in a soft manner, and people will come and support your business.
Mm.
So that's what I would like more women to do actually.
Yes. All
Mm,
right. Thank you so much. I know you rushed, so
yeah.
we're gonna end, but we'll do this again. You can welcome to contact me. I'll contact you.
Mm,
There's so much I still want to talk about.
yeah.
Um, But great. Have a wonderful weekend and
Thank
be
you.
warm and yeah, love to your family. And what do they say? Salagache.
Thank you. Dot scenes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, darling. Bye. Thank you.